Yo, what is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Samora Raider back at it again with yet another video. And today I got a special guest with me, Joe Morley. We'll sit down and talk about the Klint Kubiak press conference, some of our biggest takeaways, the Maxx Crosby situation, and also the future of this team under Klint Kubiak. And lastly, we'll also highlight our Super Bowl experience from Media Row to all the parties. But before I do, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification icon button to notify you guys when I upload more Raiders content just like this. We're just coming back home from the Super Bowl, and I thought it'd be a perfect way for me and Joe just to come together and talk about a lot of things, because right after the Super Bowl, Klint Kubiak came out and basically said that he's coming to Las Vegas no matter what. And then Monday, he comes into town with his family. And then just yesterday, he had his official press conference announcing as the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. This is something that we all, me, you have talked about it. The rest of the Raider Nation have talked about it. He's been the _1 name on a lot of people's lists. And it's really rare for the Raiders to actually swing and hit a home run. And that's what they did with Klint Kubiak. They played the waiting game, and it definitely paid off for them. They took a gamble, but I got to give it to them, man. I got to give it up to John Spytek, Tom Brady, even Mark Davis for holding in their guns and just waiting for him. But having him over here in Las Vegas now, being the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, the fourth head coach in the last 4 years, it's been really tough, to say the least. But after yesterday, I feel like it feels I believe that it feels a little different over here in Vegas. But then again, it's just me possibly being a biased Raider fan. But, Joe, I wanted to get your thoughts, man. With everything that just transpired in the past couple of days and getting Klint Kubiak officially, what have been your thoughts since the Super Bowl?
So watching the Super Bowl, right, after the Super Bowl, and we're just basically watching the celebration, watching the TV, and Kubiak goes on TV and basically goes, hell yeah, I'm going to Las Vegas. Like, that right there, I think it caught all of us by surprise. Like, we weren't expecting him to announce it. Like, we were expecting him to play it cool, celebrate your Super Bowl. But all Raider fans were just like, yes. Like, we got the confirmation. Like, we had heard that he's going to take the job, and we assumed that he was going to take the job. But just hearing it out of him on Super Bowl Sunday after they won was the icing on the cake. And I was like, hell yeah. And then just the way that he said it, like the passion that he had to take the job. So that was real cool. I thought that was awesome for him to say that and gave us that hope on Sunday after the Super Bowl. And it's cool that our head coach is coming over with a ring, holding the trophy. Like,
Come on now.
That's something else. But the whole press conference today, like I know people are going to get upset and they're like, oh, you guys wanted Davis Webb. No, it's not that we wanted Davis Webb. We said that to get used to Davis Webb's name. We heard that Davis Webb was probably going to be the choice until Klint Kubiak actually made a decision to leave Seattle, and Davis Webb was offered the offensive coordinator job there. And, situations and facts change, and that's what people don't get at the time. But there was always three names, and it was Jesse Minter, who went to Baltimore. It was Davis Webb, who actually stayed and got a promotion in Denver, and it was Klint Kubiak. And depending on the way that you ranked them, we ended up with one of the top choices. If not, we don't know if the Raiders had him as a top choice. We just know that these were the three names that they were looking for. And Klint Kubiak, they said what they said today. 22 guys interviewed for this job. 22 guys. So they did their research. And I don't care. He doesn't have to be the most exciting rah guy out there. Did you watch the whole press conference with Klint Kubiak?
Yes, I actually did watch the whole thing from beginning to end.
Okay, so what I loved about it is he did not sell us any bullshit. And that's what we've been fed for basically 3 to 4 years, right? Josh McDaniels kind of fed us bullshit. AP fed us bullshit and then yelled Raiders. And then last year, Pete Carroll, who we thought was going to be the adult in the room, fed us a bunch of bullshit, said he was going to win 10 games, and he wins nothing but 10 games. Klint Kubiak didn't do that in his press conference. He came out here and basically was humble about it. And he knows that this is a tough job to have. And he knows how much the Raider Nation is hurting. And that right there got me. Like, That was awesome.
Yeah, and I got to give credit to him because, like you said, especially after all these different regimes, man, we've been fed a lot of things, and we always have a bit of hope, and we'll hype up the next guy, right? Other than Josh McDaniels, I think the other two guys, there was a lot of fans coming off that press conference, coming out of those press conferences, really excited about it, and I'd be one of them for sure. But just the fact that Klint Kubiak is coming over here, and he's basically no nonsense. He's coming into this with no nonsense. He's just got to go out there and work. And the main thing that he said when he was asked about it, when I forgot that one guy that looks like Jay Glazer, but he was like in a hoodie or whatnot. When he asked him about, there's been 6 head coaches in Las Vegas. It's been a lot since we moved over here. And he says that, he's going to come over here. And he's just got to earn the respect. He's got to earn the trust from the organization. He's got to earn the trust from the Raider fans, the Raider Nation, because it's hard for us to have any trust in this organization when they've been losing for so long. And another thing that he brought up that really had me kind of excited, or at least had me feeling good, was the fact that that this team has got to put a good product on the field for the fans to even show up and fill up the stands. And we know that. As fans, we know that. And a lot of Raider fans outside, especially Oakland fans or City fans, whatever you may say, of course, they look at it and it's like nothing but opposing fans. And rightfully so, because the Raiders have not proved to us, have not shown us anything to even want to give our hard-earned money to come over here. Yes, a lot of us, you, me, we still show up no matter what, but there's a lot of families out there that will not show up to a game until, there's something on the field. We've seen it, the home opener. There's a lot of games where Raider fans actually show up, but there's also a lot of games where they don't show up if there's nothing to fight for, and I love that. And it's going to be a process. We know it's going to take some time to build, but give us some hope. And another thing I seen after the press conference, just to harp on it just a little bit, is Mark Davis, if you've seen what Mark Davis said, when he had his scrum, people were asking him, what is a great season? What is a good job this season, basically? And he said, of course it's to win a Super Bowl, but he's just looking for progress. That's it. That's all. Like the bar is set so low over here that just some type of progress or just some type of competition over here would give us or would basically say that his job is safe over here. Klint Kubiak's job would be safe and Raider fans will be happy. And that's all we ask for, is just a little bit of hope, a little bit of progress. Make it look like we're going in the right direction. And I think having Klint Kubiak as the head coach, that's step 1. Step 2 is getting that quarterback of the future. And I think the Raider fans will start coming around, and we're until the Raiders start winning a lot of games for many years, the Raider Nation is definitely going to show up. But this is definitely the first step for it in the new era of the Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm really, really excited about it. One thing that I was waiting for when watching this press conferences is the thing that we hear all the time and these press conferences is, hey, I love the Raiders. That they've always been a storied franchise. That the history of the Raiders, that's what draw me to it. And Klint Kubiak basically said that, this is the silver and black, man. This is the Raiders. And when the opportunity came up to him to stay or to come over here to Las Vegas, it was a no-brainer because this was just the job. But we know it's going to be a process, Zeus, and I'm really, really excited about that.
Well, everybody always laughs. Like John Gruden used to say it. He used to say that everybody wants to be a Raider. And you listen to some of these old players back in the day, you listen to players now, there's something about the silver and black that makes you want to come and be a Raider. And people can laugh about it and be like, why? Because you guys lose, blah, blah, blah. But there's something about the history of the Raiders, and that's what keeps them relevant. That's what kept the fans around through all these losing seasons. Is there something magical about the Raiders? And if Klint Kubiak and John Spytek can unlock that, it's going to be magical. I'm with you with what Mark Davis said. And this is what we've been saying. We said it with AP. We said it with Pete Carroll. We need to see progress. There needs to be a difference between the week 1 team and the week 18 team. And you need to show that, hey, okay, we have building blocks going into next season. And that's not what we've had the last couple of years. We aren't expecting Klint Kubiak to be able to turn this team around next year and go to the playoffs. If he does, amazing, right? But if he can get us 7 wins, get us competing in those games where we're not getting blown out by 20, 30 points a game, and we actually look like a team and go, okay, hit free agent next year, hit free agency, hit the draft. We add a couple more, and we keep going. and we actually give Kubiak and Spytek their time to build, we have a young team that we can we got a future with, and that's right there is promising. And another thing in the Kubiak thing where they asked him about, the overturn of coaches here, and what I liked his answer was he said, he doesn't care that there's been overturned a coach after coach here. He takes it as a challenge, as a competition, as hey, I know my job and I know I need to do a good job here, or else I'm out too. And that right there is like that's I love that. He was preaching competition, and he was talking about it, and he knows that if he doesn't do a good job, he's out. But I don't know. There was just so much where he was just so calm, so humbled, and just like, hey, I don't care about the X's and O's. I don't care about the schemes. I care about the people, and I want the right people in this building. And that's a lot different, because we've seen coaches come in here and try to bring their scheme and add players into that scheme, and instead of getting the people and making it around them. So that there's already a difference in it. It already feels different. I mean, come on, Simone. When you turned on the press conference, what was the main difference we saw today? Mark Davis wasn't sitting at the podium.
Yeah.
He was letting his football people be it.
Yeah, it did feel a little bit different, right? And you even named it. Mark Davis took a step back because you know what? He doesn't want to be in the limelight. He even said it. This is all John Spytek. This is all Tom Brady. They're in charge of football operations. He's going to be there to support and obviously cash the checks. But it did feel different because he wasn't there. And it also felt different because, it was just the GM and the head coach. And this time we have a GM that didn't get fired. We're used to having two new guys up there, the GM and the head coach, but John Spytek was a part of this hiring process. We also, got to see some players in the building, some players that play right now. Of course, we've seen Ashton Jency, Brock Bowers, Isaiah Polamau, Jeremy Chin. A couple of those guys, they were in attendance. They greeted the new head coach. It's kind of funny because I don't think some of them might not be on the team. But, it is what it is. But to your point, it was a different feeling up on the stage because some way, somehow, they had the legends come in. And the legends were up there sitting down with the new head coach and GM John Spytek. Who was out there? Marcus Allen, Howie Long. We had Rich Gannon, Mike Haynes, Jim Plunkett. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. And maybe they're trying to build something that oh, and Charles Woodson. How did I forget? And Charles Woodson, yeah. My bad. We had 6 legends up there, something new that we haven't seen. I don't think ever, but maybe that's just setting the stage for what the expectation is over here and just building a legacy. So I wanted to ask you, Joe, what was your thoughts on, having the legends sit up there with Klint Kubiak? Did you think it was a little extreme? Did you like it?
I thought, I always like seeing our Raider legends. I always do, but I thought it was a little extreme. I thought we were going a little too much extravagant because we've had the turnover so much. You know what I mean? Like, if this was like our third coach in 27 years or something like that, I could see it. But it was just like, okay, what are we doing? We're making this bigger than we need to do right now. But it also showed that, hey, we're the Raiders. We're a tight-knit family. We take care of each other, and we're going to be there to back each other. And I think having the alumni backing everybody and showing support is a good thing too. I don't know. Maybe being in the crowd would have been cool and being there to support them, but I don't know if we really needed a table and everything for them.
I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie with you. I kind of liked it. It was something different. Just having them out there, I could see the other side of it where people might think, okay, it was just a little extra. They didn't really do anything or say anything. They were just out there. But I think it just shows support, and it just shows that the Raiders are looking at a new age, a new era over here in Las Vegas. And yeah, it would. I think it would have been something, or it would have been tiring if we did it for the last 3 hirings and that was a thing. But I think the fact that Mark Davis, one took a step back and having the legends up there alongside of Klint Kubiak just shows that I think that this team, they feel like this is going to be the last hiring that we'll have in quite a long time. Maybe Klint Kubiak, this is where everything turns around. And I think they wanted to make it a big deal because I think it is a big deal. And I've been one guy that's always been like, I don't want to have that turnover. And the last 2 coaches, I didn't want to fire them because I wanted to keep some continuity over here in Las Vegas. But You know, Klint Kubiak was a home run hire. We said it before, and I say that I do like it. But that's me, dude. And just seeing
He's 38
the
years
players
old.
in the
So like you're saying, he's 38 years old. And I was thinking
yeah.
that earlier today. I was like, man, I hope he's not out of this building until he's at least 58 years old. Like, I want him here that
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, and even Mark Davis said it after when he was asked about it. He's like, "Man, I hope that this is this is a hire that we have. Clint Kubiak's here for 10 to 15 years, and I think as Raider fans, that's what we hope for too. And it's gonna just take the product on the field and not going out there and just and looking bad. And that's why we say the bar is not set that high. So Klint Kubiak coming over here, knowing that's gonna be a process, and knowing that it's gonna take some time, and coming out and admitting that kind of sets our expectations a little low, but with hope for better, right? And I think that's the way to go. I know last year was more of a, hey, slap a Band-Aid on it. We're going to go out there and let's compete. And I bought into it. I think a lot of Raider fans bought into it because we brought in somebody that was the total opposite than the coach that we had before that with no experience. Now, we do have a guy with no experience, but he has coached so many different places, and he could be the next guy out there. All right, quick timeout from today's video. I want to show you something that works much better than your traditional sports books. It's called Polymarket. Polymarket is the world's largest prediction market. You're trading on the outcome instead of just being locked into just one result. The app is really easy to use, and with so many games to choose from, you can pick your favorite one and trade in and trade out live in real time during the game. And that's one of the great things about Polymarket is that you are always in control. Traditional sportsbook block cash outs during the games, but with Polymarket, you can cash out at any time. And when you compare the fees, it ain't even close. Sportsbooks charge $9 on a $100 win, while Polymarket only charges 10 cents on a $100 win. So the payouts are definitely much better. So if you want to get in on the action, make sure to click my link down below and use promo code Samoan to get exclusive access to the app and also $10 to use free when you sign up. Try Polymarket today and see why everybody's switching over. One player that wasn't in the press conference, reportedly, was Maxx Crosby. Now, Maxx Crosby was in the building. He actually had a cup of coffee with Klint Kubiak, which Klint Kubiak came out and said that he talked to him because he was the first person in the building. Maxx Crosby still showing up. And, of course, with a lot of rumors going around on Maxx Crosby possibly out of the building, I felt like Klint Kubiak basically kind of shut down a lot of things as far as the Raiders side of things, where the Raiders do want to keep him, and Klint Kubiak stated that he would like Maxx Crosby to be a part of the future of this team and turning this team around. And also Mark Davis was asked about it too and said, "Do you want Max here?" And he said, "Yeah." So we know from the Raiders side of things that they want to keep Maxx Crosby. What are your thoughts on the whole Maxx Crosby news? And do you think that Klint Kubiak even coming out and saying those things kind of shuts down any rumors about Maxx Crosby going anywhere?
I don't know. It didn't shut down rumors about Max going anywhere. It just confirmed what we've always known, is that the Raiders don't want Max to leave. The fans don't want Max to leave. We don't want Max to leave. The owner doesn't want Max to leave. Now Kubiak doesn't want Max to leave. Like, everybody knows that it's going to be very tough to replace a player like Max. I think what it did do was shift it towards Max, and people can say, well, Max already answered it in his interviews on Thursday during Super Bowl week. But did he? Did he? Like, he wore his Raider gear. He was there. But But Max has been at every other press conference, and maybe he's like, hey, I don't want to go to this one because it's going to be the same bull crap where I'm like, yeah, coach. And I just want to sit this one out because he said that. He said he doesn't want to be a part of it. So I'm not taking it into like that big of a deal that he wasn't there, because Brock Bowers was in the building. You saw Brock Bowers on the video welcome him, Kubiak, when he first walked in, but he wasn't actually at the press conference, or at least I didn't see pictures of him or videos of him at the press conference. So it's not like Max was the only one that wasn't there, that was in the building. But it does add a little bit. But what I liked from what I heard from Kubiak is that he said that he had that cup of coffee with Max, right? And he had a great conversation with him. And he said, and I look forward to having more conversations like that with Max. And that right there, that little piece right there was like, okay, cool. Maybe Kubiak saw something that, hey, if Max isn't happy, and that was my first video after, was maybe Kubiak can fix the relationship between Max and the Raiders if there was anything wrong, if there is anything wrong. But come on, there's so much smoke behind this. So like people are saying that everybody hates the Raiders, so they just make up reports about Maxx Crosby. No, come on, there's so much smoke out there that it's coming from somewhere, and maybe it's still fixable, and I think it is fixable if Maxx is willing to. But I think Kubiak has to, like what Kubiak did during his press conference, and he sold us. He needs to sit down there with Maxx, but the problem is Maxx isn't like us. Like, we're easily to do it. Maxx has already heard this, and he's been there, and he's been in the building, and he's worked his ass off,
Yeah.
and he's heard this from multiple coaches every single time. Does he want to
Yeah.
buy into it again? But I think if Kubiak shows him the way, and I think if Maxx sees the plan, I think when Maxx sits down, this is my main thing. I think when Maxx sits down and he thinks about the future of the Raiders, and then he thinks about leaving the Raiders, and he goes to wherever. I think his biggest regret if he does leave is if the Raiders are able to turn it around in a year or two, and he's watching the Raiders win. I think that would eat at him because Maxx is a competitor, and he wants to see the
Yeah.
Raiders win.
I agree. I know that Max doesn't want to come out and say anything, and he's even said it like in the many interviews that he's had. Like, he's just sitting back relaxing, and he's just laughing at everything because the one off season where he doesn't come out and he's not vocal, he's not talking to the team about a lot of things. There's a lot of reports going left and right about him possibly being mad because of sitting out, and maybe it's just him not wanting to come out and say anything. And I think everything does fall in Maxx Crosby's court because at the end of the day, it's his decision. Even if the Raiders wanted to keep him, they didn't want to trade him away. If he was to come out and say, or just talk to the team, he doesn't have to come out and say anything. But if he talked to the team, hey, it's time, then I think the Raiders will definitely do it in a heartbeat, just out of respect for Maxx Crosby. But there is the other side of it where Maxx could stay and he would want to see it through. But maybe he's got to take some time to sit and just sit and think about a lot of things, especially the future with this team and if it makes a lot of sense for him moving forward. I think he's just keeping his options available. I think he's keeping his options open, at least for right now, and until he has that sit down with Klint. And I feel like if Klint can sit down and talk to him, I think he will lure him to come out and just say, hey, I'm gonna be with it. I'm all in with this team moving forward, and I think that's what a lot of Raider fans want to hear. But like we said, the other side of it, if he did request a trade and it came out of his mouth, I don't think a lot of Raider fans will be mad about it. I think it'll hurt to hear it, but I don't think a lot of fans will be mad about it. They will just understand it, and at this time, it's a waiting game. I talked to Q when we were at the Super Bowl, and he said it's a waiting game right now. There's two sides to it, and it honestly, as a Raider fan, taking emotion out of it, it's a win-win situation no matter what. It's you keep Maxx Crosby, the heart and soul of this team, for years to come and turn this team around, or it's just trading him away and getting assets in return to build this team up even faster. So it is what it is. As Raider fans, we don't want to see it happen, but if it was to happen, then we totally understand it.
Yeah, and I
But
don't know if it's a win-win because it's like I said, it's hard to replace the Maxx Crosby, but
oh yeah, for sure, I know.
in a rebuild that you're doing with the young players that we coming in, and you're adding more to like the Raiders have a ton of pieces, a ton of holes that we need to fix, and so adding more pieces to that would help out, and adding a younger team, is something for the future. So yeah, I can see it. Man, it would be so upsetting to see Maxx Crosby come back to Allegiant Stadium in another jersey. Like, but
I know. I haven't thought about
I
that.
know a lot of people hate on me because I bring it up and I talk about it, and I'm not afraid to do it because I mean conversation is good for you. But the reason I'm comfortable talking about it is because I mean, let's be honest. How many players have we seen that we thought were going to be Raiders for life and then gone? Like just last
There's
year,
been
just
many.
what 2 years ago, we were talking about Devontae Adams, and they were like trade rumors, and me and you were fighting, going, no, Devontae's going to stay here. He wants to be here, and then by Halloween, he's gone. Derek Carr, I'm not going anywhere. I will retire before I play anywhere else. Then he's playing on the New Orleans Saints. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs didn't get the contract here. He's gone. This is why I'm like, okay, if there's smoke, there has to be fire somewhere. But can we fix Maxx Crosby? Can we keep him here? And the longer, there's 2 dates. Let's keep these dates in mind, okay? March 11th starts the new year. Max has 3 days after the new year before his guaranteed contract of 2027 kicks in. So that would be March 14th, March 15th. That the Raiders would probably trade him before that guaranteed contract kicks in, or else it's going to be a little bit more expensive to trade him. Also, Max is dealing with an injury right now, which he won't be ready till OTAs, probably like 3 or 4 months. So some teams might not be willing to trade for him while he's doing this injury, which would push it back to past the draft,
Oh,
which is kind of interesting.
well, trust me, I don't think that's a problem because if we were to say he's available, there's already teams lined up right now to take him no matter what, and I guess deal with it. But that's what we have to wait for. As of right now, I feel like we feel the same exact way about Klint Kubiak. The press conference, I think it was great. It was kind of boring, but I think everything that he did say was great for the future, and I'm excited to see what he can do. And we know that the pairing that he's going to have, and I think everybody kind of knows because everybody's been asking him about the Fernando Mendoza thing, but he kind of ran around that question a little
Yeah.
bit. He didn't answer it. Like he kept evading that question and just talked about, oh, the number one pick is a really important pick. There's going to be a lot of options out there, but bruh, Clint, we know who the guy is. Come on now, but I don't know if they could say anything. But who did say something was Mark Davis. Asked about Fernando, and he said, "Yep, it would be nice. It would be nice to have that number 15 over here." But
Well, Spytek kind of said
I,
it too when he said that something about pairing Kubiak with a nice young quarterback, like
yeah,
in those
yeah,
words.
that's true.
So it was
Yeah,
kind of out there, but it's not out there. And I understand that he doesn't want to sell himself out there because, hey,
yeah,
you are coming into a building. You don't know all the players in here yet. You want to get to know them. He's still going to talk to Geno Smith, right? He's still got Geno under contract. He's still
yeah,
going to talk to him. Not that Geno's going to be our quarterback, but he still has to look some of these guys in the face and talk to them. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Because that's what he said. After coming back from he's gonna go and do the parade and then come back and get to work because it's time to go. It's time to go. We got the combine right around
12
the
more
corner. We
days.
got free agency. It's almost there, man. It's gonna be crazy. But Fernando Mendoza, man, count your days because we can't wait to see you in the silver and black. We got to see Fernando firsthand last week, Goose. I got to shake his hand. I got
God
to shake
willing.
his hand.
God willing.
God willing. Come on, man. God willing. Fernando Mendoza. Hey, real quick, Joe, it was a week, man. We had ourselves a week last week. We were in San Francisco all week long, or since Tuesday, and we were getting content. I think you guys seen it on our socials. I just dropped the vlog that I had the full week vlog. And man, we were busy. We were getting to it, and we was going to work. Media Row was crazy. Met a lot of different faces. Seen a lot of different faces. Met a lot of new people. Connected with the Raiders. Went to certain parties. Seen a lot more people over there. But I think that the main highlight for me was definitely just seeing being in the presence of Fernando Mendoza after singing his praises since we got the number one pick. But that's what got me excited, Usain. I think that was a highlight for me. What would you say is a highlight for you?
Well, I think it was just an honor and a blessing just to be on Radio Row, Media Row, whatever they call it now. Like
Yeah.
it's something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid, and being able to just go there and just see the inner workings, like, and seeing how like it gave me a different perspective for the beat writers, for the radio personnel, the TV personalities, to see the grind, like to in person of how much like
It's a
people probably didn't even know
hassle.
I was there. People probably didn't even know I was
Yeah, yeah.
there unless the pictures that I posted, because they don't know how much it was for me and you to, like, I have the camera going and we're chasing and we're trying to find somebody, and I'm setting the camera up while you're trying to grab their attention and just get that quick interview,
Yeah.
like the Jay Glazer thing. We only had less than a minute to get him on there, and it was like, okay, I mean, you and I talked about
It
it,
was
and
a 10
boom.
second, yeah. It was like a 20-second interaction. Is 20-second
Yeah.
interaction. I cut it down to like 10 seconds when I asked him about Maxx Crosby. But yeah, bro, like it's a hassle. Like being at Media Road, like I'm blessed enough to say that this is my third year, so I kind of knew a little bit going into it what to look out for, which is why I said, "Hey, I just need I need somebody to hold the camera because imagine doing it by yourself." And I did it by myself last year, but it it's a blessing to be in those rooms and to be around those people, but everybody's doing the same thing that you're doing, and
Yeah.
everybody's trying to get that next sound bit. Everybody's trying to get that content, and everybody's moving. Whether you're a player, I know a lot of players and athletes are possibly, they're denying like 60 people per 30 minutes, and they're taking certain people. But I mean, yeah, it was a lot though.
Well, I think just having the extra set of eyes, like you and I, like when we sat back in the hotel at night and you're going through the footage of what we got that day, and we're like, "Holy crap!" Keyshawn Johnson was standing next to us the whole time, and we had no idea.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
like we're so focused. I think Fernando was our biggest one. Like we're like remember we went into
oh yeah.
Friday going we need to get Fernando. We followed him from Kay Adams to ESPN to Pat McAfee wherever we could.
We
Uh,
were stalking the hell out of Fernando.
Hey, and he knew we were there. He knew we were there. Like when he walked by me, he gave me that big old smile, and I was like Raiders, and he was like, "Yep."
Oh yeah, we were in the back.
Um,
We were in the back of the set.
yeah, you
I'm
shook
like,
his
what
hand. You
the
got
hell?
him
These
on
dudes
Kay
are
Adams.
everywhere.
Like he saw our presence there. He knew we were there. So it was good to see him. I think the other guy that was awesome to see because I've never met him in person was John Gruden. I wish we would have been able to pull him. But as soon as
Yeah.
I think John Gruden might have been the most sought after. Like we thought it was going to be Fernando. When John
Oh
Gruden
yeah,
walked into Media Row, you knew he was there.
bro. That's
Oh
what I told
my!
you.
Like, whew.
Yeah, you were telling me to run and gun that when I said hell no. Like if I had to work really hard, I think it was only gonna be for Fernando. But nah, I was like, I'm not gonna try to get in that crowd. But yeah, that John Gruden crowd was crazy. It was
I almost got
like
trampled. My big
The
ass
Raiders
almost got
couldn't
trampled.
even get him. Moose. The
No,
Raiders couldn't even get him
no.
to sit down with. That's crazy. But
Now our
yeah,
friend Fernando
yeah,
Ramirez got him for a second, but it was that run and gun, like let's go, But John Gruden, like it was just interesting to see him in person and his personality, and we missed him. Like him and Rich Gannon did their little skit right there on the street, which was like what a block away from our hotel room, and we were like,
bro.
holy crap! Um,
Yeah.
we saw so many other people we like that we probably didn't even get on camera, and we talked to like I thought I had a great conversation sitting there talking wrestling with George Kittle was awesome. I sat there for at least five
Yeah.
10 minutes with George Kittle. What was it? There was another one. Kurt Morrison gave us so much love. Um,
Oh yeah, Kirk. Shout out Kirk. Yeah.
yeah, Kurt Morrison was a great
Shout,
guy.
shout,
The only one
yeah.
that I'm
Shout out.
kicking myself over, and you know I've been kicking myself since I left San Francisco. Since that day was Keegan Michael Keegan. Like we were right there next to him, and I froze, man. I
Yeah.
froze.
Damn. Come on, man. You gotta be like, hey. I know, man.
I should have said,
That, for real though, that's the whole part of it. It was like doing Super Bowl, doing media rows. It's a grind. It's a hassle. Like even getting this content and everybody I know back at home. Shout out to everybody. I was showing a lot of love to the clips that I was just trying to turn around every single day. It was some people like, what the hell? You guys are everywhere. And even like when we got Fernando for just a little bit when he came up for K Adams show, I was like, I couldn't even get my camera working right on time. I said, fuck it. Bring out the phone.
nope.
And I was like, he's gonna turn here. I just gave him that quick interaction, shook his hand, posted it, boom. That monkey's going crazy, man. And I was like, okay, I really wanted to get that one-on-one, but he was just one of those the few
There was
people
no
that
way.
you could get no time with. Like he's moving, the team is moving them everywhere. So the best I could do is that quick amount of seconds. I wish I could have got a picture, but hey, he coming to Vegas anyway, so we'll catch him here one way or another. That's for sure. But
MGF got you good though. I'll say that.
yeah, MJ, man, fuck him. No, no, I loved it. I love it. I love it though. I love the interaction. He just walked by. He would have been a good one to stop, but I think I had a different idea like that past weekend to just get more sound bits and stuff like that. And if I could sit down or get a quick interview, then that's cool. But I think we killed it. It definitely hit a lot of numbers over
I've
the
gotten
past
so
weekend.
many text messages or phone calls from people just saying like, "Hey, you and Samoa and had a great week. Had a great week up there, and you know,
Yeah.
congratulations on what you guys did. And hey, I'm telling you what, me and
And
you
we
were
definitely.
tired. We were tired.
Oh,
Our feet were hurting. Our arms were
oh,
hurting.
bro.
We had some good
No,
meals.
yeah.
We found a little steakhouse. That was like our
Shout
go-to
out to
spot.
Tad Steakhouse. You know what I mean? Tad Steakhouse. The only place we didn't really care to like go experience everything else because I was so damn tired. I just wanted to eat something, and most of the time we didn't eat all day. We just eat like at the end of our day. But
Shout
it
out to
was cool.
Woodson
It was
Whiskey.
definitely.
I want to shout
Shout
out
out to
Woodson
Woodson
Whiskey. They
Whiskey.
treated
It
us.
was cool to chill with Charles Woodson. It was cool to talk to Brock Bowers right before we left. Brock Bowers, down to earth dude, hella cool.
Should we
But
even
yeah, I
say
mean, I think the whole
what we found out the
hmm?
last night of our stay?
What?
That Brock Bowers was in the hotel next to us the whole fucking time.
Oh, bro, yeah. Brock Bowers was in the hotel next to us, and we found that out the last day. We were just walking the street, and him and his girl got out of the black SUV, walks right in. I was like, Brock. He turned around, like, oh. But I think his wife probably was like, what the hell you turn around for? Now they know we stay here. But no, it was all good. It was good vibes. I think overall it's such a great vibe that we had at Super Bowl. But can't wait for next year. It's gonna be in LA, a lot closer to home. So I can't wait for that. But I think that the new age of the Las Vegas Raiders, we should be in good hands, and I can't wait for the season to come around. We got the combine, we got free agency, we got the NFL draft, and we'll be covering whatever events we can cover. But till then, until next time, though, this is your boy Samuel Raider, Joe Morley, and we are. Yeah.